Good morning, friends, on Zoom and on YouTube. We will begin our devotional in just a few moments. Good morning, friends, on Facebook. We'll begin our daily devotional in just a few moments. Thank you for joining us this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and welcome to our daily devotional. This week, we are looking at Mark chapter 1, verses 14 through 20, which is the beginning of Jesus' ministry. This follows, of course, his baptism by John and the story of his temptation in the wilderness. I want us to focus this morning on Mark chapter 1, verses 16 and 17. Mark 1, 16 and 17. As Jesus passed along the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." So Jesus, as we know, has gone back into the area of Galilee and is now on the shore of Galilee. We're not given a whole lot of information about interchanges or exchanges between Jesus and these fishermen. And so it's not entirely clear what sort of relationship Jesus might have already had with these brothers before he invites them to join him. We just don't have that information. But what we do have is this very strong statement that, and simple statement that Jesus issues, which is follow me. And it's a powerful and simple statement, of course. In the Greek, this would have been a formal invitation from a teacher. So it's interesting that the Greek vernacular is not used here. This is really more of a formal type of invitation, follow me. And then, of course, a phrase that might have been fairly strange at the time, which is, "I will make you fish for people." And I say strange because it is a phrase that you can find in the Old Testament in Jeremiah, I think, but it's used in a negative sort of way, that is, in tricking people. And it's fairly clear, I think, that Jesus is not inviting these men to follow him in trickery. He is inviting them, I think, to engage with people. And this follows along with yesterday's reflections, when I talked about the fact that Jesus does not align himself with any political party. I think it's not accurate to say that he was apolitical. I do believe very strongly, and the Gospels are fairly clear, that his message has definite political ramifications. But he doesn't identify with a party. And in fact, he engages with all sorts of people. He's starting with these professional fishermen. He then has a tax collector in his group and a zealot who would have been associated with some revolutionaries at the time. And so Jesus gathered people around him. He didn't gather party affiliates. He gathered people, and I think when he uses this phrase, "I will make you fish for people," he's simply expressing the fact that the gospel calls us to engage people, to engage them with the good news, with the love, with the good news of release from captivity, the good news of feeding of food for the hungry. And the message that I think Jesus is communicating here is one that is can be very challenging for us and for our time, because unfortunately I think the idea of fishing, the evangelistic notion of bringing people in, has been distorted somewhat, as if the fishing for people was for the sake of fishing rather than for the sake of the people. So it seems clear to me that Jesus' focus is always on the individual and where they are, where that individual is, the context that that individual is living in, the struggles and challenges that that individual is addressing, and that this is what Jesus is calling us to do. I think this is an evangelistic call for the church, but not so much a single message that everyone should respond to, but rather a call in which we meet people where they are, in which we try to love them where they are, in the space that they occupy and the particular challenges that they face. So being a fisherman of people, I think, means that you have to engage people where they are, as Jesus did. So this, I think, is what Jesus is telling his followers to do. One other comment here in this story is that these are professional fishermen, and so they are men of some means. They're clearly not super wealthy, but they do have some resources. They have hired hands and others to help. And I think that's a fairly clear message as well, that those of us who are called to work and to follow Christ are ones who have the capacity to do so, who have the resources to do so. Let's close with another prayer from the 5th century Pope, Saint Leo the Great. O God, who has established the foundations of thy church upon the holy mountains, grant that she may not be moved by any wiles of error, which would fain compass her overthrow, nor may she be shaken by any earthly disquietude, but ever stand firmly upon the ordinances of the apostles, and by their help be kept in safety. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.